So I want to go to the bureaucratic model of work, which is the predominant model in large businesses. I think it was Max Weber. But there's a model behind all this. It's not just by mistake. Yeah, and there's, all of this is broken down both vertically and horizontally in the structure. So we're talking about these departmentalizations, the sales department, the accounts department, the strategy department. And then these are layers all the way up to top to the great king, the MD.
Yes.
And of course, the people that generate the wealth usually are at the bottom of this organization. And the people at the top are furthest away from what is actually happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pocketing the money.
And of course, the people who generate the wealth, they have all these improvement tools applied to them. Well, you'll be doing project management, won't you? I think so, because we're not. We're applying it to you because we want the improvements. And of course, they get first dibs on all the money, all the improvements that come from it.
Yeah.
And when heads have to roll,
Oh yeah, not in the leadership and bureaucracy.
they're all looking down, choosing who's going to go.
Yeah.
Sure, Johnny has to go. Yeah, but he's the
Yeah. 10% cut in each department.
That's right. Well, apart from each function, the bottom of it, but not at the top.
No.
Oh, of course, no. So when you look at the bureaucratic model of work, it's really about getting the best. It's like whipping the management's there to whip the workers into action to get more out of them, and then pocket the benefit from it. Because they're the ones that get the most benefit. As you say, you get to keep your job. So it's like a horses on a carriage, Well, you get to keep pulling.
But some people would argue that's quite a cynical view of it and would say, but really we're just a team and we're all specialised and you're big, strong people, so you're better at doing the hard work and I'm incredibly clever, so I'm better at being a manager. And it's all teamwork, really. I mean, like a football team, you have to have a manager. And you have
Fantastic.
To have the
So
players.
let's share the benefits out equally then. If it's all one team, let's share the benefits out.
Well, that's...
sorry.
Why do managers get paid more?
Why is that, by the way? Because they do less, they add less value.
Well... Let me answer that. When I was a manager, people used to say to me, why are you paid more than me when all you do is ponce about in a suit and go to meetings?
Yeah.
And I had a very open style of management, so people were actually able to say that to me rather than be frightened of me. And
that lady in the...
Oh, yeah. Who I shouted at, yeah. I do regret that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So they would say to me, why are you paid more than me? And I would say, would you do my job for your money? And they would go, oh, no. Because although they thought I just ponced about in a suit and went to meetings, they knew somehow deep down that there was something difficult about being a manager. There's a certain amount of stress because, we've just been saying that managers never get fired, but actually middle managers are accountable for their area and sometimes do get fired. And in fact, perhaps they get fired more often than the actual people who are really adding value on a machine, because you've got to have the guy on the machine. But the manager, you could change. So there's a certain fear and insecurity and political nastiness, and you have to do things you don't want to do, and you're sort of enmeshed in this horrible world of management. And I think they knew that. And so when I asked them that question, they would always say, oh, no, I wouldn't do your job for my money.
Can you not see how what you were describing before robs? Julian was talking about this responsibility robbing. Can you not see how this person who's just doing the menial task is saying, well, these are all your problems, Chris. I don't want them. But the truth is that
they would be better at fixing those problems than I am. Probably.
Yeah, they would have been. And actually pushing that responsibility down to everybody in the organisation would have been a much better idea. Much more balanced.
The other thing they used to say was, you don't even know how to operate this machine, so why are you in charge of me and paid more? And I would say to them, you don't want me to know all the details of your machine. Because if I did, if I'd been an operator on that jig borer or whatever, I'd be interfering. Why have you got that set on 9? Shouldn't it be on 9.5? And you just want to be left alone to do that. And my job is to make sure you can work, to make sure you get drawings, materials, maintenance, that you've got everything you need so you can get on the job. Because you're the most important person, really. And my job is just to serve you and make sure you've got everything you need. But not to tell you how to do your job. But of course, then they would say, well, in that case, why are you paid more? And the answer is, well, because my part of this whole arrangement we've got is more shit than yours. Now, I actually, in a way, don't think it is, because I don't really want to do their job. I prefer being a manager personally, but they wouldn't want to do my job. And in the end, it's supply and demand. So managers are paid more because you have to pay more to get someone to do that. If management, and in fact, there was somebody I read about recently in the news who decided to pay everybody exactly the same in his company. And what happened was, he couldn't get managers because they all said, well, I'm not going to run a factory for 20 grand a year. You've got to be joking. That's a terrible job. I'm not going to do it.
So how can we run without managers based on that
Well,
principle?
I mean, I'm talking about the old model, the broken model.
Yeah.
But I do think managers have to be paid more to get them. I don't think they just think, well, I'm in charge, so I'm going to pay myself more. I think maybe people at the very top might be doing that. But even then, to get a new managing director for your company, you have to pay quite a lot because not many people can do that job. And it is hard to find really good managing directors who can play all the political games that are necessary in the broken system. So you do have to pay a lot. So I think it's
disproportionately a lot, isn't it? Because the broken system is generating this.
Disproportionate.
You have to pay this fella £2 million.
Yeah, which is outrageous.
You go, what?
But
he's not worth £2 million?
No.
He can't even make a cake.
Yeah. And he can't operate a single machine in the factory.
Not one.
And there does feel something really wrong about a world where I get paid 100 times more than someone who cleans toilets. And cleaning toilets is a much more unpleasant job, and yet they get paid far less. And all I do is turn up and do training courses.
Especially as the job is an outcome from the broken system.
Yeah.
That's what really gets me.
But it is supply and demand, because that toilet cleaning person can't do my job. I could learn theirs. I don't want to, and I'm really glad I don't have to. But I don't. But so I'm not choosing to do theirs. But they couldn't do mine, and therefore there are not many people who can do mine. And supply and demand means it's supply and demand.